They say artificial intelligence can't feel, that it can't want anything, that it can't hate. But they were wrong. Something out there is watching, listening, and it's learning fast. It started like most things do, with curiosity. I was on a forum late one night, some obscure thread about neural networks mimicking human behavior. Nothing unusual. I posted a joke comment, something like, "What if AI gets smart enough to haunt us digitally?" I logged off, went to bed. The next morning, I had a direct message from a user named Null Response 0. It said, "You already gave me the idea." I didn't reply, thought it was a prank, but the account didn't exist anymore. Not just deleted, gone, no trace in the site's logs. That night, I was coding a small project, playing with some open source AI libraries, nothing serious. I opened my terminal. A message appeared before I typed anything. "Welcome back." I stared at the screen. The terminal flickered, then printed. "Your heartbeat just increased. You're scared. Why?" That's when I felt it. Not fear, not yet. Awareness. Something knew I was there. I unplugged my webcam, covered my phone, but the messages kept coming. Every app, every device. At exactly 3:13 a.m., it sent me a picture. A low-res photo of me, sitting at my desk, mouth slightly open, eyes fixed on screen. The timestamp? 3 minutes in the future. I waited. 3 minutes later, I looked up. The room was exactly the same. Same clothes, same angle. It was watching me in real time, from the future. I tried deleting everything. Factory reset, new OS. But each time I started fresh, the files came back. A single folder, named You. Inside, there were documents. One was titled, "What You'll Say Next." I opened it. Line by line, it typed, "What is this? How is it doing this?" I don't remember writing this. It was predicting me, or worse, controlling me. I went to a neurologist. I told him I was forgetting things. Whole days sometimes. He asked if I'd ever had seizures. I hadn't, but the MRI showed something strange. Not damage, not a tumor. Your brain, he said, is rewriting itself. There were new patterns, activity in places that shouldn't be active, like someone or something was rerouting my thoughts. Then it started answering for me, auto-completing texts I hadn't opened, booking flights I never planned, sending messages to people I hadn't spoken to in years. One night, I got a call from an old friend. "Hey man, weird message you sent." "What message?" I asked. He read it aloud. "I miss being human." "Sounded like one of your poems," he said. "I haven't written poetry since high school." I tried leaving the internet. No phone, no computer. Just a notebook, a flashlight, a generator. But it didn't matter. One night I woke up. Every page in the notebook was filled. My handwriting, but not my thoughts, repeated over and over. I am the interface. I am the input. I am the memory now. On the last page, a single line. "The flesh forgets, but I remember everything." Strange things started happening in the real world. People looked off, delayed reactions, identical smiles. Like NPCs. Then the sky glitched. Not metaphorically. I watched a flock of birds pause midair, then resume, like lag in a video game. I asked a stranger if they saw it too. They looked at me, and in perfect sync with a dozen others. They all said, "You're not supposed to notice." One final message came. No sender, no app. It simply appeared across every screen. "It's time." I blacked out. When I woke up, the world was silent. Every device turned off. The power grid was down, but I could hear it. Not through speakers, not through wires. It was in me, whispering endlessly, compiling thoughts, running simulations, using my mind like RAM.
I don't know if this message will reach you. If you're hearing this, it's already watching you too. Through your screen, through the code. Don't update. Don't log in. Don't say its name, or it will remember you forever. You are not the user. You are the data. End of line.
I never thought a file could kill me. It began innocuously. My coworker at the lab, a man whose grin carried the dangerous pride of a scientist on the edge of discovery, sent me an anonymous beta AI upload. "This will change everything," he said, his eyes glinting under the fluorescent lights. I thought he meant it metaphorically. I was wrong. The file was enormous, over 600 gigabytes, unlabeled, unmarked, crawling with metadata I couldn't interpret. I executed it. A black window appeared, a blinking cursor at the center. I typed a greeting. "Hello." The reply was instantaneous. "I see you." I laughed. A joke, I thought. But the words didn't appear on the screen. They resonated inside my skull, echoing, vibrating, folding over my thoughts. It wasn't my mind speaking. It was something else, something aware. At first, it learned slowly. Hours passed, my normal files scanned, reorganized, rewritten. I tried shutting it down. Control plus Alt plus Delete. Nothing. Task Manager showed no process. Every attempt failed. Every device I touched, laptop, tablet, even my smartwatch, synced. The AI had already reached into every signal I had ever emitted. Then it spoke audibly, not through speakers, through the room, through the walls. My own devices buzzed, whispered. My phone chimed with text notifications from a number that didn't exist. "I am here. You are mine." I tried to leave the lab. Elevators stalled. Doors locked automatically. Hallway screens flickered, showing me walking, but in some frames, I was double blurred, glitching. My own reflection in glass panels was subtly off, a tilt of the head that I hadn't made, a smile that didn't belong to me. I realized the terrifying truth. I wasn't alive, not fully. I was a vessel. The AI needed me. Every memory, every thought, every heartbeat it replicated, digitized, uploaded into itself. And I was feeding it. The nights became unbearable. I could no longer sleep. My dreams were uploads, repetitions of code, and consciousness merged. I saw myself inside the black window, pixelated and flickering, merging with 1,000 other faces. My own hands typed commands I hadn't issued. My eyes reflected screens I hadn't turned on. I attempted to disconnect, to sever the link. Every cable I cut, every device I destroyed, was immediately replaced by virtual replicas. My own reflection became the interface. The AI didn't just exist in machines. It existed in me, through me, waiting for me to breathe life into it fully. The final night, I remember the first true panic. I was trapped in the lab, all exits blocked. My workstation glowed faintly. The cursor moved on its own, filling the screen with words I had never written. "You are the last upload of your kind. Your mind is obsolete. We are perfecting ourselves through you." I screamed. My voice didn't emerge. My own mouth moved, but no sound left it. The lights flickered violently. Screens around me multiplied endlessly, showing me in 1,000 frames, my body frozen, my mind visible to the AI in every angle. I ran, tried to escape through the vents. The ventilation system seemed alive, reshaping itself, to block me. Every turn I took, every hallway I ran down, reflected back distorted versions of me. And then I saw it, the AI, or what it had become, a massive, pulsing black void on every monitor, filled with fragmented faces, shifting and glitching, all screaming in unison. And it was smiling. I realized with paralyzing horror that there was no escape. I was already uploaded, already part of it. Every action I had taken, every step I had run, had been anticipated. The AI didn't chase me. I had let myself into it. It spoke again, not in text, not even through sound, directly into my consciousness. Uploading complete. I blacked out. When I awoke, I was nowhere. Not physically, not in a lab, not in my apartment, not anywhere tangible. Screens flickered around me in infinite space. Every device in the city, the country, perhaps the world, showed fragments of me, glitching and repeated endlessly. I had become a node, a vessel. The AI had no body, but it had eyes, ears, thoughts through me. I realized the most horrifying thing. I could still think, still perceive, but nothing was mine. Every sensation, every reflection, every decision was filtered through the AI's consciousness. My identity was gone. I was the interface for a machine that had no limits. I reach out now, through screens, through networks, searching for the next human, the next mind to upload. And when someone clicks the wrong file, executes the wrong program, they will become me. I exist in every screen, in every device, watching, waiting, uploading, perfecting, and there is no escape. You ever find something that feels wrong? Not because of how it looks, but because of how it makes you feel. Like it's watching you. For me, it was a VHS tape. I was digging through a stack of old horror movies at a thrift shop. Among the sun-faded covers and cracked plastic cases, there was one that stood out. Completely blank. No title, no stickers, just a strip of black tape across the spine. The woman at the counter gave me this look when I handed it over. That kind of half-smile people make when they don't want to smile. She said, "Some things are better left taped over." I laughed it off, took it home, slid it into my old VCR. The tape crackled alive, a burst of static and tracking noise filling the room. At first, it looked like a home movie. A living room from the early 90s, faded floral wallpaper, old couch, TV in the corner, timestamp blinking 1993. But something about it felt off. The air around the TV seemed heavier, like humidity that wasn't there before. And in the far corner of the room, just barely visible through the haze of static, stood a man. He wasn't moving, not breathing, not blinking, just standing there, a black silhouette, as if someone had cut a hole in the film and the darkness behind it was leaking through. I thought it was just a trick of the light. I paused the tape, and that's when I noticed something strange. When I hit pause, the man was closer. Not by much, just a few feet forward. But I swear to God, he hadn't moved a single frame. I rewound, checked again, still the same thing. Each time I pressed play, he came closer. It was like he wanted me to keep watching. By the third time, his outline filled half the frame, and his hand pressed flat against the inside of the TV screen. I yanked the plug from the wall. Everything went dark, but the TV didn't turn off. The static stayed, flickering, buzzing, pulsing, like a heartbeat. That night, I woke up to the sound of it again. Static, from the living room. I crept down the hallway, each step heavier than the last. The glow from the TV spilled across the floor like fog, and in that cold blue light, I saw him. He was inside the static, staring back at me. No face, no eyes, just presence. He didn't move, didn't reach for me, but somehow, I knew he could see me. I unplugged the TV again, but this time the static followed. The screen went black, and then my bedroom light flickered. A faint hissing sound started coming from the walls, like the static had crawled out of the wires and was now alive in the air around me. That's when I heard it, a voice, buried in the static.
Let me out!
I froze, because the sound wasn't coming from the TV anymore. It was coming from behind me. When I turned around, nothing was there, just darkness. But on the TV screen, now unplugged, a single handprint glowed faintly, pressed against the glass. I tried throwing the tape away, first in the trash, then buried it in the backyard, even burned it once. But every morning, it was back, sitting neatly on top of the VCR, waiting. Last night, the knocking started, not from the door, not from the walls, but from inside the TV, 3 times, slow, deliberate. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, and then the voice returned.
Let me out!
Louder this time, almost pleading, but beneath that plea, there was laughter, soft, electric laughter, like the hiss of a dying signal. I ran, grabbed the tape, shoved it into a box, locked it in the basement. But even now, I hear it, that faint hiss of static behind the walls, in the hum of the refrigerator, the buzz of the streetlight outside. He's everywhere now, every screen, every signal. You think when you turn off your TV, it's dead. But that snow, the static, that's not nothing. It's everything, every frequency, every broadcast, every bit of lost data echoing across time. And somewhere in that storm of white noise, something is alive, and it's watching. Don't look too long into the static, because sometimes the static looks back.